Hi, kindergartners. Welcome back to Social Studies. Today, we are going to listen to a story called Joseph's Little Overcoat. And while we're listening to the story, we are going to be thinking of the word recycle. Have you ever heard that word before? So I want you to think about if anyone in your family has ever used an older or broken thing to make something else or something new. So maybe you have used pallets and turned it into shelves or tables, turned old shoes into a flower pot, taken boards and made it into something else, remade clothing by turning it into a blanket or a quilt, things like that. So our checklist for today, we're going to review the objectives, watch the lesson video, complete the assignment, and then click mark as done on Google Classroom. Our objectives for today, I can identify how to use resources wisely. And our language objective, I can explain why it's important to use resources wisely. The only thing you're going to need today is your Chromebook. So, like I said, today we're going to talk about recycling. Everybody say recycle. To recycle is to take a used item and make it into something new. So you might have a recycle bin at your house where you put things like plastic or paper to then take it to the recycling center, and they will recycle that and turn it into something different. So here are some things that we can recycle. We could recycle newspaper or magazines, other kinds of paper, cardboard, cans, aluminum cans like pop cans, glass jars, plastic bottles, laundry soap containers, milk containers. And this is kind of hard to see, but this is showing us that newspaper can be turned into egg cartons, pizza boxes. The cans are showing us we can turn it into things like bicycle parts. We can turn water bottles into rugs and coats. We can turn pieces of paper into more paper. We can turn plastic bottles into frisbees, playground equipment. So we can take all these things and make them into something different. Today, we're going to talk about how you can take clothes and recycle them into something else. So we're going to listen to this story called Joseph Had a Little Overcoat. And we're going to learn how he took his coat and recycled it over and over and over again to make something else. Make sure you pay very close attention because when we're done with the story, you are going to put the story in order. So you're going to sequence this story. So again, make sure you listen to how he turned his coat into other things.
Joseph had a little overcoat. It was old and worn. So he made a jacket out of it and went to the fair.
Oh, will you look at that jacket? I'm looking already.
Joseph had a little jacket. It got old and worn. So he made a vest out of it and danced at his nephew's wedding.
Mazel tov!
Hey, look, he's doing the Kazatsky.
Ooh, Kazatsky, that's not easy.
Joseph had a little vest. It got old and worn.
Oi, look at that vest. It's like a rag.
So he made a scarf out of it and sang in the men's chorus.
Tumbala, 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 laika. Tumbala, 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 laika. Tumbala, laika. Tumbala, laika. Tumbala, laika. Violin songs.
Joseph had a little scarf. It got old and worn. So he made a necktie out of it and went to visit his married sister in the city.
Joseph, so good to see you. Lovely necktie.
Joseph had a little necktie. It got old and worn. So he made a handkerchief out of it and drank a glass of hot tea with lemon. Joseph had a little handkerchief. It got old and worn. So he made a button out of it and used it to fasten his suspenders.
Look at this!
Is that clever? That is clever. What a smarty. He's smart.
Joseph had a little button. One day, he lost it. Now he had nothing. So Joseph made a book about it, which shows you can always make something out of nothing. The end.
So Joseph turned his coat into so many things. He recycled it so many times to make something else. And like I said at the very end, you can always make something out of something else. So again, like I told you, we are going to sequence the story or put the story back in order. And I put this story on this slide, so if you need to go back and listen to it again, it's right there for you. So Joseph started out with his coat, and I put that one in there for you already. So he started out with a coat. Do you remember what he made it into next? You are going to find it over here. You're going to click on the picture and drag it to the next box. So you went from a coat to what? So it's going to, watch my mouse, it's going to go in this order. Started out as a coat. He recycled it and recycled it and recycled it. Then we're going to go down, recycled it again. Now we're going to go to the left. What did he recycle it into next? And next and last. All right, so again, the video is on this slide if you need to go back and listen to the story again. And then on this slide, you're going to put the story back in order. He started out with a coat and he recycled it so many times, and think about what he ended up with out of his coat. When you're done, go back to Google Classroom and click Mark as done.